everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you how to make the easiest no-knead bread I have ever made in my life. This recipe will render two beautiful rustic loaves that you can make inside of 3 hours, and your family is going to be so happy. I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. We're going to go over all the ingredients for this no-knead bread. I'm not joking, you guys. You can't screw this up. I've never made a no-knead bread that was this easy, and this is easy. I've made it 3 times already. Every time it has disappeared. So what we have here, 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of warm water. This is like, stick your finger in it. It's like bath water. Not too hot. It cannot be any hotter than 110 degrees. 2 tablespoons of honey, granulated sugar, brown rice syrup, agave nectar, brown sugar. This is a time when you want to use a true sweetener. You do not want to use an artificial sweetener because this is feeding the yeast. 1 tablespoon, I'm using instant yeast. If you're using dry active yeast from the grocery store, you're going to want to measure it and open up those packets until you have a tablespoon's worth. If it is dry active yeast, you're going to need to proof it, which means you're going to have to put it in the water with the sweetener and the yeast and then mix it up, and you're going to have to wait 5 minutes. Mine is instant yeast and we don't have to do that, but I am actually going to show you what I do, even though this is instant yeast. And a tablespoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt today because that's what I had. So first things first, we're going to take our salt, we're going to mix it in with our flour. So just give this a good stir. This is a quick and easy bread that you can make on the fly. It doesn't require a lot of babysitting because you're going to mix up this dough and then you're going to walk away from it for 2 or 3 hours. It doesn't matter if it's longer than 2 hours. You're going to come back to it and you're going to turn it into loaves and you're going to immediately bake it. This only requires 1 fermentation or 1 rise, and then you're going to shape it into loaves. It's a very wet dough, but it turns into a very, very delicious loaf. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix the honey and the water. I'm also going to pop the yeast in there. This is only because it's easier to get it all in the bowl at one time. I'm just going to whisk this together. I'm not going to let this sit. If you're using instant dry yeast from the grocery store, you're going to want to let this sit for 5 minutes before you pour it into the bowl. I don't have to do that because my yeast is instant yeast. I use SAF instant yeast. I buy it in 1 pound package. I'll leave a link down below. You can still get it on Amazon.com. You can also get it from King Arthur flour. Now, this is how hard this is. Dough scraper is going to be your friend. If not, just use a wooden spoon. Get this in there. Turn your bowl. And as you do, take your bowl scraper. Get this flour and water mixture incorporated all together. You want that flour to hydrate properly. Just keep turning your bowl. Gonna look like you have too much flour, but you don't. Now this may be, for those of you who are familiar with no-knead bread, this may be like completely out of line for what you're used to, because no-knead bread a lot of times is very wet and sticky when you mix it up. This, as you can see, looks like I've added too much flour to it, but I promise in the end it's going to be fine. I'm gonna pick this up with my dough scraper and just rest it on my hand. With my other free hand, I'm gonna spray this bowl with a little cooking oil. And with my dough scraper, I'm just gonna kind of give this a little push, and then I'm gonna spray the top, and I'm gonna cover it. I use these bonnets. These are disposable shower caps from the beauty supply store, and I buy them in a package of 100. They're super convenient when making bread, and that's basically what I use them for, is when I'm rising dough. Package is gonna last you a long, long time. I'm gonna set this on the top of my stove. I'm just gonna walk away from it for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we come back. Okay, it has been about 2.5 hours since we let this do its thing, and it has risen. Bench scraper, dough scraper, your best friend, okay? So I'm gonna just spray both sides here. I'm also gonna spray my hands. Trust me, you'll thank me. Go ahead and start knocking the dough down. No need to punch it because you'll just get sticky dough all over your hands. This dough is very, very sticky, okay? So you see I'm just turning the dough in on itself, and this is just to knock that air out of it. Okay, so then we're gonna kind of evenly as possible divide this in half. I like to take this and just kind of scoop it with the dough scraper to shape it a little bit, and I'll show you why. So there's one loaf, and I'll show you in a second what else we do. We're gonna do the same thing with the other loaf. Tuck it under, flip it, tuck it under again, flip it, just get that nice shape, as nice as possible, okay? I'm gonna wet my hands. Just a little bit, you don't need to wet them a ton. I'm just gonna come in here with my wet hands and give this a final shaping. And don't be, too concerned if you feel like one is bigger than the other. It's all right. It's not even gonna matter in the end. Just get you a sharp knife. I'm going to cut a couple of grooves in this dough. This is going to help the dough expand, and if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. You can see that it's still split. If you need to, again, you can just spray your knife blade and it will help it glide through the dough. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and pop this into a preheated 375-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, or until it's beautifully golden brown and it sounds hollow when you tap on the bottom. I'll be back when these are ready to share. These have been in the oven for approximately 30 minutes. So there it is. It's crispy, it's beautiful, it sounds hollow when you tap on the bottom. There's the bottom. It sounds exactly as you want it to, and now it's time to enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one of these in half for you so you can see. There you go. It's beautiful, and it tastes just as amazing. Your house is gonna smell fantastic. Your family is gonna be amazingly happy, and you made bread with little effort, few ingredients, and actually for pennies. If you went to the grocery store or the bakery to buy one loaf of this bread, you're paying upwards of $4 to $5, depending on where you're getting it from. This is great for sandwiches, it's fabulous for toast, and if it makes it to dinner, then you could serve it alongside your dinner. I'm gonna go grab, make this look really pretty, and then we'll grab some butter and we'll give it a try.
I have to.
You have to. Well, there you have it. There's our bread all cut up and ready to go. The key here is waiting at least 2 hours, and then make sure that you score your loaves before you put it in the oven. So there's the bread. You can see how beautiful it is. It's not a ciabatta, so it's not going to have a super airy crumb to it, but it does have a beautiful crumb, and it is extra tasty.
You can smell it.
And it smells amazing. And Rick already knows what this tastes like, but he's gonna, do it for you anyway.
I have to.
You can see how beautiful that is. So beautiful.
Nice and crunchy on outside.
Mm-hmm.
Super soft in the middle.
It's delicious. The inside is tender and fluffy. It's not dense at all. It's simply delicious.
It is.
Y'all, you have to make this. So that's how you make it. That's how you make no-knead bread with literally 5 ingredients inside of 3 hours time. You can be multitasking all day long and still making amazing loaves of bread. I hope you give this a try. If you do, please leave me a comment down below and tell me how you liked it. I really do hope you try this. I really do hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.